Welcome to another episode of a long overdue elevated audio podcast. We are back in the building. This is my co-host.
Audio. I'm still alive, man. It's been a while, but I'm still alive.
We're still here in the building, you know. See Raj Elevate here. And we're just happy to be back, man. We just appreciate you guys sticking with us and rocking with us. We usually say this at the end, but engage with us. We want to hear your opinions. We want to hear from you guys. We want to hear some suggestions on shows that you want us to do. So just let us know. Let us know in the comments. Hit us up in the DMs. Follow us at Elevated Audio Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and especially on YouTube. So so let's get right into it. Audio, what is our this is a pretty spontaneous topic, and I'm glad it came how it did, but what are we talking about today?
Before I say this, and I know that like we normally, at least me personally, I like to not necessarily talk about things in a like a current event kind of way or notate like what the date is when we do these episodes because I want it to be like I don't know. We don't know when someone's gonna like stumble upon our podcast or when they're gonna like
Make it
receive our
time.
podcast. Yeah, you know what I mean? I want it to be kind of timeless. So like someone check out this episode in like 2 years or even in 6 months or whatever and be like, all right, cool. This is an interesting topic, whatever it may be. But anyway, today is February 7th, which means it's Jay Dilla's birthday. So that's why I'm wearing Jay Dilla's
R.I.P.
shirt.
Rest in
So
peace to the
rest in
goat.
peace, rest in beats.
Yo, we should have done, man. Dang.
What?
I didn't even know that was today, man. We could have done like some of his beats or like some of his best beats or something like that. We can still do that, like at the end.
We can still talk about
You
that a
know?
little bit, or we can always do that on another episode or whatever.
Yeah. Let's see how
I,
it.
I didn't mean to throw it off, but anyway, yeah. Sorry.
R.I.P.
So for today, the one we did agree on originally was we're talking about some notable hip hop songs from movie soundtracks.
Yep.
Now I know we talked about this a little bit, off the air, but when we talked about this, you had in mind songs that we associate with soundtracks, right? Because like there's other songs that like we may not necessarily think of as like soundtrack songs that happen to be on soundtracks. You know what I mean? Like Jay Z, "Can I Get a What?" Like that's on a Rush Hour soundtrack, but I don't think people associate that as a soundtrack song. I don't think.
But they're more
I
of
could
just
be
a
wrong on
Jay
that.
Z
I could be totally
single, more
wrong.
of just like a Jay Z song.
I just thought it. I now I'm thinking about it. The music video does have like clips from Rush Hour, but I
Mm.
guess I don't think of it like when people say like, "Oh, soundtrack songs." I don't really think of it like that.
Well, we
You know
could
what I mean?
also
I
do.
think of it as a Jay Z single.
Yo, you know what else we could do, man? I mean it'd be too spontaneous, but just like name songs that we feel could be good soundtracks to movies. Like, oh, I think this song, this Nas song would be a dope.
It would have
Man,
been good on this soundtrack,
yo,
like
man,
for this movie.
I think like Ether would be a. I don't know why Ether. Just because I like Nas more than Jay Z, probably. I feel like Ether would be like a dope like combat soundtrack to a movie, man. Just like a first person shooter type movie or something.
Okay,
I don't know why. I just feel.
I could see that. I mean, I can kind of hear that. I think it's mainly because like I feel like the beat works in that kind of way. You know,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I can definitely see that.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, that would be. I would see. That's a topic I would actually have to like think on.
I feel like you're smirking just because I know you.
Exactly,
I know you
because
like
I
that.
was not expecting that derailment right there. I was not expecting.
You're like thinking about it, and I know you like Nas more than Jay Z, so you're like, yeah, that would be dope.
I feel like yeah. No, now I'm thinking like other movies that would work on because now you're talking about like first person shooters and I'm thinking like war movies and shit. And, That's way too big of a topic that I have to put a lot of thought into.
Right.
I'm
Like this.
obviously like, okay, what are my favorite songs? All right, what are my favorite movies? Does that work there? No. Does it work there? No. All right, what movie would it work on? You know?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So you want to drop? You want to drop your first one, or well, I mean, I guess I did kind of drop a first one spontaneously, but
Well, why don't you go? Why don't you go first?
okay.
First
So
official one.
this is like a given one, and I'm sure people out there is gonna be like, yeah, obviously that fits, but
Yeah.
the 8 Mile soundtrack, "Lose Yourself."
Hold on a second. Let me delete that. Hold on. All right, I'm ready. I'm
Yo,
ready.
you know what? And as I was typing down, I was like, I bet Chris has this.
I was doing as I was making my list. I'm like, I wonder how many of these Rod's gonna have.
But bro, it's so perfect, man. It's like, that's Eminem. He's a star in the movie. Like, it's such
Yeah,
and the
it is
track
perfect.
itself is just a straight, go get it, lose yourself in the music. It's just like it gets me pumped up to this day. Like I could work out to that song. And yeah,
That's
I
a
think
soundtrack song that I actually really, really like. That like not just because it's part of the, it was a good movie and all that, but like it's just a good song. You know what I mean? Like and like you said, that will still get you like kind of hype. And I'm not even the biggest Eminem fan,
I
but
know.
that song still holds up,
Yeah,
man.
by itself, you're disgraced to all light skinned people. Oh, you know what I'm saying? You're light skinned. You
Light
gotta like.
skinny.
I was gonna say white, but you're Cuban. Can't even say
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that.
Yeah, it works.
All right. So who you got?
All right, I'm gonna go further back. Because I only think I don't I only remember this song from the soundtrack that I heard it on. So I
Okay.
don't remember it being. I could be totally off on this. Maybe other people know it otherwise or don't think of it that way. But Dr. Dre on the Friday soundtrack had a song called "Keep Their Heads Ringing."
Mm,
You even know what I'm talking about?
nah. I mean, I watched like all the Fridays when I was watching that stuff, but
I don't think the song is even in the movie. Eh, Maybe it is actually. Nothing about it.
you
For
think
some reason,
maybe they were just like playing it, you know?
yeah, it might have been one of those. Yeah, they might have just been playing it. I think.
And those are perfectly fine to come up with. I mean, to talk about,
Yeah,
like
but it's absolutely on the soundtrack. It's
when I
definitely
send soundtracks to movies, I really should have just been like songs that have anything to do with movies, whether it's just like the
yeah,
soundtrack or a song that was played in a movie. It'd be really dope. Like if they aired like somebody's new single that nobody ever heard of,
in the movie.
brand new single, and they just aired it
Yeah,
on like a big movie.
that'd be
That'd be
pretty cool.
fire. I don't know if they do. They probably do that already,
I
but
mean, they probably do that honestly, and we just don't realize it, and we're like, oh shit. And like a month later, we're just like, wait, I heard that in the movie. You
because in the
know?
old days, like how they used to break tracks. Well, not the old days, they still do it, but like DJs,
Yeah,
at a party, whatever, they would break a
yeah,
track by the DJ spinning and stuff.
yeah. It's
You
just not as
know?
prominent anymore as like that. That was where
Yeah.
you would hear songs that are
Yeah, now with the internet, like we could do it whenever, however we want. Like I
right,
could break a track right now, which I love the internet. It gives us a chance to make a living from at home and everything, and just
yeah,
online marketers. But it kind of like there's a certain like specialness about just hearing a track being broken for the first time at a party, and you really couldn't hear that anywhere else. But the
yeah,
same thing goes with like shopping for CDs, and like back in the day or records, you would go to the store and like have this whole experience, but
yeah.
now everything's digital.
I
You
miss
know?
that honestly. You
Yeah,
know, and honestly, even the topic we're talking about right now, honestly, like you don't really hear about like big like soundtracks. I mean, the Black Panther soundtrack was pretty amazing.
was Kendrick Lamar in that soundtrack?
I think he did like the whole thing, if I'm not mistaken.
Like
Like,
it wasn't just a soundtrack; it was the movie track.
yeah, I mean, it was like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, the whole thing the whole thing is Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, I know Kendrick also had a soundtrack. He did a song with who was it? A female Rihanna. Was it Rihanna? For like Spider-Man. I think I could be wrong.
That sounds kind of right.
Let me see. Kendrick.
This is great content right now.
Oh yeah, I know people are looking like they're probably yelling at us like the answer or whatever right
Like
now.
when you guys talk, like did my internet go out? Like did the app just like crap out on me?
They're
What the hell are
frozen.
these guys doing? Okay, so there's like different artists. Oh, Kendrick like executive produced it. That's why.
He executive produced the movie.
No, no, no. Like the soundtrack.
Oh, I was like,
That's what I'm saying here. No,
he's
no,
mad
no.
talented, bro.
The dude's talented. I mean, I'm sure he could, but I've never seen anyone like not have the track record and get that kind of an opportunity. That'd be a hell of a move. I mean, hey,
Uh,
that would be amazing. Um,
man,
but yeah, what are we talking about?
we were talking about Kendrick producing the whole soundtrack and movie track,
Oh yeah, because
and you were
that's
trying
right.
to verify
That,
everything.
because like soundtracks, it's not like made as like it's not like I guess they're not like a big deal how they were like back when we were coming up. You know, it was like, and honestly, that was a way that like established artists, found another income stream. You know, and it was also artists would get broke. They would break artists on soundtracks at times. That like a label would sign an artist and they maybe didn't have an album out, but they would like put one of their songs, they would shop their music around and get it like onto like a soundtrack, That'd be a way to kind of like expose them,
Mm,
expose the masses to that artist.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah.
So who you got next?
Well, trying to find that one we were just talking about. But I don't think the one I was saying Kendrick Lamar did a feature with like a really um famous or well known female for a soundtrack to a song, but I don't think it's Rihanna. I don't know. I'll have to look into that.
Was it from a
Uh,
soundtrack?
huh? It was a soundtrack to some movie. I think it was Spider Man, but I'm trying to remember who the female was that he did the track with.
Alicia Keys? Maybe?
Yes, was that Spider Man? Yeah, yeah. That's
Spider-Man, yeah.
so it was Spider Man. I was just messing up the female. Okay, yeah.
I
Well,
don't know what you were searching, but I just typed in Kendrick Lamar Spider-Man. And that was the first thing that came up.
wait, what'd you type in? Kendrick and Spider Man?
Kendrick Lamar Spider-Man. That's literally all I typed in.
See, I didn't put it Spider Man. I just I put Kendrick Lamar and Rihanna, and obviously not Kendrick.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. No, I
Except
guess
the
that's
song they did, Loyalty or whatever, but that has nothing to do with Spider Man. So I got a major fail on that one.
yeah.
All
It's all
right.
good. It's all good.
So my next one is Cradle to the Grave. X gonna give it to you. That was like,
yeah. That was like I think that's like in the commercial, like for the movie. I think it's like in the trailer.
yeah, it is in
Pretty
the
sure.
trailer, and it's just such a perfect, it's just a perfect track for an action movie like that. And
Yeah.
X and his personalities is mad aggressive and like
Yeah.
the movie's beating people up, in a martial arts tasteful type way, but still,
Yeah.
it had that aggression in there and just
Yeah.
I feel like any hard DMX track will go to
Any action movie?
yeah, to a combat action movie, man. Because that's just who he was. He's mad aggressive.
Yeah, that was a good one. I thought about that one. I thought about that one like after the fact. I made my list and that one came to me. I was like, I'll just work up the list that I made.
Mm.
Well, I could sit here and like come up with like 20 or whatever. Like, let me just stick with like a list of I mean, we could have like a 10-hour episode.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
I'll keep it sort of streamlined.
yeah, man. Because this is a lot. There's a lot of movies out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tracks out there that would go with certain movies.
Right.
Just infinite. But we get hungry and we got lives, so we can't just sit here all night.
It would be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we could if
What?
this was like our full-time job.
It could be.
I mean, if we were like on StreamYard right now, we're on a YouTube live channel right now,
Bro,
and people were just throwing us donations as we're
we
talking. I'm like, okay, cool.
we can just eat with the people, you know. I'm sure they don't mind, like if we, get our food and
I'll go grab my fried rice. That's
Oh,
like
you
my
fried
fist
right?
while we're talking.
I thought you would just had it like in a crock pot.
No, it is. It's waiting for me for when we're done.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So, did you want me to go next or what?
I think you just went.
Okay.
You just said X gonna give it to you.
I
No, I
did.
mean you said the song X gonna give it to you. You weren't saying the X gonna give it to you.
Rest in peace to the legend.
R.I.P.
Hey, yo, I'm slipping. I'm falling.
So- hey man, it's a legend, dude. Um, you know what? You brought up DMX, so the song that I was actually gonna say next is from the Belly soundtrack, and it's a song called Grand Finale. It
Mhm.
has DMX, Method Man, right? Yeah, Method Man, Nas, and Ja Rule. And yeah, man. I mean, listen to the names I just said. I mean, the track was fire. I remember that 'cause that was a soundtrack that I was like heavy listening to when it came out. You know,
Mhm. Mhm.
and of course, Belly is classic.
Yeah, what a classic gangster movie for sure.
Yeah, man.
For sure. My next one was the song Wild Wild West from the movie Wild Wild.
No, no.
Did you don't tell me you wrote that down?
I wrote it down, but I wrote it down as a separate category as like the worst hip hop soundtrack song. Don't,
It
look at the
fits,
look on your face right now.
it fits so well though, like the worst. Well, all right, the song's not good, but I mean
It's corn. It's mad corny,
because
bro.
the movie wasn't good either. So,
No, the movie's terrible. The movie is probably the only thing worse than the song.
so yeah, we agree on that.
The movie's
It was
awful,
the
man.
best song for that movie, basically, is what I meant.
You know what's crazy about that? I have to let me just look up the year real quick. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I have this right. I'm pretty sure I have this right. All right. So okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got this right. All right. So Will Smith, yep, I think they have this accurate. So Will Smith, he was before that movie came out, he turned down the role. You know what role he turned down? Let me ask you like this. You know what role Will Smith turned down? All right, he turned down this other role so he could do Wild Wild West.
Mm.
You know which role that was?
Uh, playing a playing a chick, and
What?
that
What?
I'm messing around. What was it? Audio.
He would have been. He was offered the role of Neo in the Matrix.
You're lying to me right now. I'm not
I'm
even
reading it. I'm reading it right now.
not even
He
listening.
was offered the lead role of Neo in the 1999 sci-fi movie, but it eventually went to Keanu Reeves. It eventually went to Keanu Reeves
Wait,
because
so
Will
he's
Smith
supposed
turned
to
it
be,
down because he wanted to do Wild Wild West.
so he's supposed to be the original Neo.
He would have been Neo instead of Keanu Reeves, but he turned it down because he wanted to do Wild Wild West. And we know how awesome Matrix turned out and how successful it turned out and how terrible Wild Wild West was.
Yeah, yeah,
Bad career move.
yeah. That's yeah for sure. Yeah, that's just the best, worst. That takes the cake. I mean, I'm sure there's worse ones, but like that wins. That's pretty high up there. That's one of the wins.
On worst career moves.
Well, yeah, that
I
and
mean, it's got to. I mean, it's up there.
also just the horrible movie and the horrible soundtrack to go with it.
Everything about it's terrible. But you just picked it, the song.
What?
But you just picked the song. I guess it's notable. if
well,
nothing
it's,
else.
well, it's got the same title, so you know.
And don't let's not forget Cisco on the hook. Oh my god. Oh shit. I don't know why that sentence makes me laugh. Um, all right, I got not from the album, but from the movie Get Rich or Die Trying. 50 Cent. He had a song on the soundtrack called Hustler's Ambition.
Mm.
That's really dope.
Yeah, actually, just passed that right here on this website I'm looking at.
Yeah, that song's dope. I would play it right now, but then YouTube is gonna like flag it, and then like that part of the podcast will go silent, or they'll cut it out, or whatever. That's what happened one time to us. So in case there's an episode, I can't remember which episode it was, but there was an episode we were talking about like Kanye West, and I played a song like on here, and all of a sudden I got like an email saying, "Oh, your video was flagged," and blah blah blah. We removed that portion of the video. Like,
No, so are things just like
bro, it's not like we didn't give credit. I'm literally talking about the motherfucker. Like, I'm literally talking about the dude and then playing the song. I gave the credit where it's due. I did not claim to have ownership of the song. I'm not profiting at all. YouTube is not paying because,
yeah, don't talk too much junk.
subscribers. If you're watching this, you
They
need to
get-
subscribe and tell your friends to subscribe because I would love to get paid for this and quit my job, but I can't.
We what,
Instead, we're getting flagged by
happen.
YouTube
it
for
could happen.
saying
It could happen.
it could happen, and I believe it will.
So stop talking crap about YouTube because we
I
have.
love you. No, I spend half my life on YouTube, man.
Gotta be on the.
I just wish they were nicer to me when I play a random song in our episodes. That's all.
We gotta be on a good side, Chris. Come on.
Look, man, if YouTube wants to come down and perform at one of my shows, I will let them perform one of my shows. Why won't you let me play a random song in one of our episodes? We're creating content for you, YouTube. Well, we're creating it for fans, but you know what I'm saying.
Gonna get one of those plaques one day, Chris, that says you've reached.
Yeah, you have like a
Yeah,
million subscribers or whatever. Yeah, we're getting there.
All right,
We're only like 1% of the way there. I don't even think we're that
we're
close.
gonna get there because we're gonna be putting out more content.
Yeah, no question.
All right, so I'm
We
gonna
need you to tell your friends. We're gonna take a break from.
tell your friends, tell your friends, tell your friends.
Tell your friends to get with my friends, and we can all be friends. And we can do this every weekend.
So my next one is Training Day, and there were a few songs that were related to Training Day with Denzel, but they played Still Dre somewhere in there, and I think that was perfectly
Yeah,
fit,
I think they did actually. You're right.
and I think that was super fire. I mean,
Yeah,
they
did that. Yeah, I remember it. Yeah, I remember it being in the movie.
Yeah, when he made Ethan Hawke smoke that sherm, and he didn't know what was going on.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
that
right.
was wrong. That was super wrong. That was super
Yeah,
wrong.
that's super wrong, man.
Yeah,
I
but
know you like to get wet.
so horrible. But yeah, that
Oh, shit.
definitely fit in there, and yeah, that was my next one.
Look, man, the song I'm about to say, older heads. I hope that you remember this. I certainly remember it like the first time I ever heard it, like it was yesterday. Older heads know this. The movie is classic, and then they remade the movie, and the remake is really, really bad. Space Jam soundtrack. There's a song on there called "Hit 'Em High." It's got "Be Real." It's got Busta Rhymes, LL Cool J, and Method Man and Coolio. And you know what? That song's dope. I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. I know it's for a kids movie. I get that. But guess what? Everyone I said on there, except for maybe Coolio, is dope.
Yeah, I can see that.
And
I can see that.
especially when you were like a 10-year-old like I was when that movie came out, and you were just starting to like get into hip hop, like I was at that time, it was like a perfect like marriage of
Mm.
like perfect situation, you know?
Yeah, that's how I feel about uh that movie Hustle and Flow. I feel like
Yeah.
somewhere in there they should have had that "I Got Five on It" song. Somewhere in there.
I feel like that's in there. Yeah.
Like, see, you already feel like it's in there.
I feel like it's in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pause. I feel like that song is also in Friday.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's in most of those weed songs, and I
Yeah.
don't live my lifestyle no more. I don't promote or anything, but I just feel like
Yeah.
that, back then in that scenarios, like they fit.
Yeah.
You know? And the Afro Man song,
Because
um,
I got high.
yeah, I feel like that could have. I feel like that could have been more in like a Friday movie though.
Friday or like how high or some shit.
Ah, how high up for sure.
We got to do an episode on best like movies that have hip hop artists in it.
Yes, yo, that's
That's a good topic because there's a even the movies that aren't good are like still like kind of classic. Honestly, How High is like not actually like a good movie necessarily, but I love that movie.
yeah. For when I was that age, it was very like I watch it now. I wouldn't be like, oh,
Yeah, it's dumb, but it's like
but
it's kind of funny.
debauchery. But but we could even do like hip hop artists we think that would be dope in certain roles. Like yeah, there's hypothetical ones too, and our viewers that are viewing right now, you guys can let us know who you think would be dope in movies, or who is what
Yeah,
artists, hip hop artists are dope in movies, or even commercials, because a lot of hip hop artists are doing commercials now.
true. And honestly, like, oh yeah,
Does Shaq,
that would actually actually be another good topic.
does
Honestly,
Shaq count?
what hip hop artists would you think would be good to endorse certain products?
Does
Like,
Shaq
why
count?
is like okay, like currency should be like endorsing like some kind of airline or some shit? You know what I mean?
Does Shaq count though? Because he's like a. Did he do a hip hop song before? And he's in a lot of commercials.
Yeah,
Like, count him?
yeah, yeah. I mean, he raps, you know, kind of.
Because damn, I just, I
Like,
just.
why is like Benny the Butcher not endorsing like a meat like producing company? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is he not like endorsing some kind of like meat
Yo,
factory or like
Benny
some
the
Angus
Butcher,
beef, some or a steakhouse?
dude,
Why
he
is
needs
Benny the
to
Butcher
open.
not doing
I'm
that?
pretty sure.
Why is you know what I'm saying?
Bro, I'm pretty sure with Griselda, he's like at a level where he has enough funds to like he could open up his own meat factory, and I'm sure like he'll be good, or like his own brand of meat.
I'm gonna
Like.
try to get us some attention. I'm gonna tweet that shit like right at him.
Why does Betty the Butcher
Bro, why are you not endorsing some
brand?
steakhouse at this point?
Yes,
Straight up.
Betty the Butcher Steakhouse. Forget Chris Roos. Forget whatever other steakhouse they got. Like Betty the Butcher Steakhouse. I would go there.
That's true. He should just start up his own steakhouse. It's true.
Yeah, dude. Like what?
Bro, I'm gonna that's it. Business idea. We're opening up a hip hop themed steakhouse.
Hey, and we'll even have some vegan stuff.
Benny the Butcher's, and he'll be there to like cut the ribbon.
Yeah, we'll have vegan steak too for vegans.
There you go. How does that work?
I have no idea. I just said it.
No, but real shit. Like I see stuff all the time like vegan chicken. It's like, well,
Oh, it's just
it's
a
chicken. It literally can't be vegan. Like
you.
you just call it something else. Say, well, chicken flavored vegan stuff.
It's
I'm
just
not shitting on vegan. I'm not shitting on vegans. Like if look, it's a healthier lifestyle, man.
I
Honestly.
used to I
But
used to be vegan. I used to eat, I still do sometimes eat the fake meats, but honestly, bro, it's not that much healthier than the actual meat because it's just a bunch of stuff,
oh really?
chemicals, products that they mix together. When I was younger, I used to think a veggie burger was made of vegetables, which they can make, but the ones you get
Yeah.
like at the store or wherever,
Yeah,
they're,
about that
they're not
shit.
just vegetables. They're made a bunch like soy and like freaking stuff that's really not
Yeah.
good for you. So you might as well eat the real meat. But
Yeah, you're better off just getting something that you know is like organically grown and you know
that's where I'm at now, bro. Like I'm eating meat again, and I'm trying to eat the best quality meat.
right.
Like you
Yeah.
know,
Like my whole thing with like health wise, it has never been about like we were talking before we started recording. We were talking about like how I've eaten a little bit more fast food in the last couple of
Yeah,
years than
the
I
fan.
may have before that.
Right.
Um, but my whole thing was never about like, oh, that's more fattening than this or whatever. It's always been about like, where is this actually coming from? You know what I mean? Like what's
Right.
actually in the
That's
food. You know what I mean? That's
man.
been more of my focus. Has been like, I don't know. Like if you go to McDonald's, like, okay, fine, like you're gonna get a burger, okay. What's actually in that meat, quote unquote. Like at that point, I'd rather just get my own, buy ground beef and make my own patties and make my own burgers. You know what I mean? It's gonna taste better anyway.
Mm.
And I know that I'm eating beef, and it's not like some processed something.
Some other
Um,
animal,
yeah,
we
yeah.
can't
Who knows? Who knows, man?
love this.
But the only difference is that it just takes a little bit more effort, obviously.
Yeah, well,
But
what they're trying to do? They're trying to just make food in factories now and in laboratories because
yeah,
food's becoming, especially since pandemic, it's becoming more scarce.
yeah,
All these things, all these factors, like I don't want to eat that, man. I want to eat actual food,
yeah. Let's
Um,
keep. We're so overpopulated on this planet.
dude, yeah. But God will provide
Yeah,
because God wouldn't let always be people be here if if He could. It's just man is getting in the way and
yeah, pretty much.
destroying the forest. Like if we use the earth the right way, the way God intended, bro, like we'll be good. But when I
Yeah,
can say us, but like the people running this stuff, like they're not doing that. They're destroying everything, like cutting down rainforests, freaking all that
yeah,
stuff.
it's pretty bad, honestly. Even just here in Florida, they continue to build out like in the Everglades and shit. They continue to try to infringe on like what's supposed to be like
Like,
protected land. Um,
yeah,
it's kind of gross, honestly. How as human beings, how we've treated this planet.
it's
Honestly,
disgusting, man. It truly is
it's
disgusting.
pretty bad, dude. And
But you got
yeah, what are you
any?
gonna do, man? We just gotta make the best of it. Try to do our part in our individual lives, and hopefully enough people do that that maybe we can, you
Yeah,
know, kind of set the
standard.
maybe slow down the destruction a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, that's all we can do, man. Focus on what we can do, control what we control. Try to influence people to be the best, or to
Yeah,
influence them in the right direction and everything.
exactly. And hopefully, we can influence the next generation to do even better than us.
Yes, and that's what it is, man.
That's really
Like,
what it is. Is
that's
that
what we
that's all
want.
you really want as, a parent, or if you have kids, whether you don't have kids or not. If you can do things in a way that inspires the next generation to do things better than we did it, cool. And we kind of did our job as a generation. You know what I mean?
And bring God back into the schools and into the world, because
Yeah.
where the truth.
Yeah. And not everyone has to be super religious, but I think by and large, I think we need something like, God. I mean, I happen to be Christian, but you know,
Yeah,
I think the more that you know, we understand that there's a lot of things in life we can't explain, and to me, I attribute a lot of that to a higher power. And
yeah.
when all else fails in my life, I turn to God. And
Well, you know where I'm at, man.
yeah, 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 for
He
sure.
can answer.
Well, I mean, I know people who are very religious, but what I love about my faith personally is that when times are hard, I know where I find my hope. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And
And we also
and whatever helps you find hope, cool.
also
I'm not here to tell you what to do, or not
yeah,
you. You know what I'm saying? Whoever's listening.
yeah. Well,
Um,
we're both different. I'm more like,
yeah,
Jesus
yeah,
is the way, he's the way, the truth, and life. That's what the Bible says, and that's what
yeah,
I
yeah,
I live by.
yeah, yeah. And
I
that's
love
kind of
it.
how I live my life too. But I understand, some people have different opinions. That's totally
Yeah, even though I think there's one way, man, I love everybody, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
if your path brings you closer to Christ, the truth, then take that. We all have
Sure,
our
sure.
different pathways, man. But so you got anything else with as far as our topic and all that?
Yeah, the only other one that I wrote down, and the more I think about it, I don't even associate it with a movie, but the you know what? I gotta look it up. Now I think about it, because now I'm second guessing whether that's even on a soundtrack. Now think about it. I swear that it was. Um, yeah, yeah. Okay, it was. Yeah. So the song "Regulate," Warren G, that was on
Hmm.
Above the Rim soundtrack. I don't even remember it being on that soundtrack to be honest with you. But I just remember the song being dope, when it
Yeah.
came. But that was the other one that kind of like came to mind. Um, Obviously there's so many songs and so many good soundtracks out there. Obviously,
Yeah.
we could sit here and talk for 10 hours about this topic,
Oh
and
yeah.
if we're just like sitting there looking,
We should definitely do a part.
having the internet open in front of us, looking at all the potential options. I
Bro,
mean,
at the end of the year or like next year, we should do a part two to this and do like, do a 2022 thing, or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
we could do, yeah. I mean, obviously we can exactly like say, hey, it's continuation of that other episode that we did.
yeah.
You have any more?
No, we could. I'm gonna say one more thing, then we could wrap it.
Okay.
They need to do a movie of Jay Dilla if they didn't already. I don't know if they did, but they need to do a movie with him and have his music in there, his beats,
Yeah,
and
that'd be cool.
the songs that he's done with artists, and they need to have other artists in there. I mean, I guess it'd be more of a documentary, but I mean, maybe
Nah, but
they should do something like 8 Mile
yeah,
style, like show his life and his struggles.
yeah,
Because I know he had a lot of struggles and all that, like
yeah.
him coming up and all that. I would like to see that with a lot more artists.
I would like to see that too. And just as like a side note to or a continuation of what you just said, I'm going to piggyback on that.
Mm.
Is I so maybe you don't know this, and maybe people who listen to this don't know this. So there is actually a so the last project that he released, or the last project that he worked on, I should say, before he died, was a project called Donuts, right? In case you don't know. So anyway, so after he died, they opened up a donut shop in Detroit downstairs of the building that I believe I have this right. Downstairs of the building where he grew up. Um, and I went to Detroit to visit a friend a few years ago,
Hmm.
and I went to the donut shop.
Hmm.
And I gotta say, I believe it was like his aunt or someone in his family basically runs the shop. There's a few relatives that run the shop. And I gotta say, they were super, super nice, man. Just super gracious, just really, really good people, really good people, really kind people. And I wish, today on Jay Dilla's birthday, I wish that family a million blessings and you know, everything good in the world. And I would love, to piggyback on your point, I would love if they made that um, movie and those proceeds could go back to the family because dude came,
Wait,
dude
so
had a
was
great
it a family
family.
that
And
opened the
what's
shop?
that?
Was it
What's
what
that?
his family that opened up the donut shop?
Yeah,
Or
it's called
huh?
Dilla's Delights.
Oh,
It
fire!
was super.
I
Okay,
didn't realize it
I'm
was
gonna
the
tell you a story.
family.
So I was visiting a friend, and we had a hotel room. My hotel was like a few blocks away, just by chance. It was a few blocks away from the donut shop. So whatever. One day we were just chilling, whatever. We went for a walk, and I was like, oh, let me stop by this donut shop. So I go in there, whatever. I'm just chopping it up with. I want to say it was his aunt,
Mm-hmm.
and honestly, I was like, honestly, I just wanted to come in and just and check it out. I was a big, big fan of his work, and still am, and and she's like, do you want to? This is a little bit after what's it called? Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there.
With the program audio.
Sorry, sorry, man.
Mhm.
This was like maybe I don't know, maybe a year or maybe less after Five Dog passed away, right?
R.I.P. Fife.
So they had a Five Dog shirt there in the donut shop hanging like in the back, right? Like you have the counter or whatever they're working, and then behind there was like a shelf and it was hanging from the shelf, right? And it had a bunch of like signatures on it. So whatever, I'm saying, oh, I was a big fan of Dilla's work, blah 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 blah. And she's like, you want to sign the Five Dog shirt? I'm like, yes, I do. So I don't know, somewhere. my signature is somewhere on a Five Dog shirt. It's probably like in a case somewhere. But anyway, they were super nice. And I would love to see a movie made about Dilla's life. That'd be really dope. And I wish that family nothing but you know, blessings and positive things.
Yes.
So yeah, man. But that would be another, that'd be another great topic, honestly.
Yeah. I mean,
Artists that we think they could have a movie made about their life. I would love to see a movie about like Jay-Z, like when he was first like coming up.
yeah. Well, I hope you're writing these down.
I mean, I have that. I think I have that. I wrote down that title, like basically, or the topic or whatever. I didn't write down.
Came up with a really good one earlier, man, and I feel like we forgot it, like super earlier. And we were like, yeah, we could do a whole episode on this one.
Oh, you were talking about artists that
Oh, could play roles.
movie, they could play like certain movies or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, cool. I'm just writing that down. Make sure I don't forget. All right, cool.
Yeah,
What
man.
else you got, man? You got any more?
No, I'm good. Let's see. No, we're good to wrap.
Yeah, we can wrap.
All right. Hey, yo, I got bars. I'm about to eat so much food right now because my stomach is sore. That was wild.
In a rhyme.
I know, but I wanted to say. All right, so make sure you guys subscribe, comment, like I said, engage with us. We want to hear from you. We want to talk to you. Follow us on the Elevated Audio Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. And just get involved with us, even if you just want to hit us up in a personal message and give us ideas and just sort of say what's up or just call us ugly or whatever you want to do, we're here. We take constructive criticism very well, just don't get disrespectful and out of your pockets.
Yeah.
All will be beautiful. And God bless.
Honestly, you can be disrespectful on it as long as you subscribe.
Khris is like at any cost.
You're not gonna hurt. You can't hurt my feelings, bro.
Right, thick skin over here. Yeah, well, God bless y'all, and I'm not giving any plugs right now because, as far as my personal stuff, because the Lord is really guiding me to do some rebranding type things. So I will drop that on you when the time comes. I'm taking my time with it. So,
well, I will definitely plug. So Khris Audio anywhere. That's KHRIS Audio. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Yeah, I don't really mess with TikTok, so don't ask. Soundbreaking Music LLC.com. I don't want to say working on a lot, but definitely working on some stuff, working on maybe a new project or two or three. Literally. Me and my business partner, Ben Phrases.
Shout out to Ben.
We shout out to Ben. We got this show that we do every year in Orlando called the Ozone Hip Hop Fest. But this year we are doing the first of another annual event, South Florida Indie Fest. You can be down here in Fort Lauderdale if you live in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, or anywhere, in Florida, honestly. And you got the opportunity to come out to South Florida for the weekend. I mean, who doesn't want to do that? Come out, have a good time with us. I'll buy you a drink. Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, man. That's about it.
All right. Well, peace out, y'all. Have a good night, and we'll see.
Likewise, man. We'll see when we get on here again and keep it rolling.
Keep it real.